Okay. Manual for teachers who are their pupils. Would you care to read, Sue?
Sure.
All right.
Certain pupils have been assigned to each of God's teachers, and they will begin to look for him as soon as he has answered the call. They were chosen for him because the form of the universal curriculum that he will teach is best for them in the view of their level of understanding. His pupils have been waiting for him, for his coming is certain. Again, it is only a matter of time. Once he has chosen to fulfill his role, they will ready, they are ready to fulfill theirs. Time awaits on his choice, but not on whom he will serve. When he is ready to learn, the opportunities to teach will be provided for him.
Exciting. And then
Wait, are they talking about the readiness of the pupil or for the teacher?
it's talking about the pupil, and when the pupil is ready, the teacher will be opportunities. Oh, when he's ready to learn. Well, teacher and learner are the same person. Let's see if it's talking about that. His pupils have been waiting for him, for his coming is certain. Again, it's only a matter of time. Once he has chosen to fulfill his role, they're already ready to fulfill theirs. Time awaits on this choice, but not whom he will serve. When he's ready to learn, opportunity to teach will be provided for them. So, teach, learn. Teach, learn is the same thing. And so, when he's ready to learn, the pupil, the opportunity to teach will be provided, meaning it's the same person.
Okay. In order to understand the teaching learning plan of salvation, it is necessary to grasp the concept of time that the Course sets forth. Atonement corrects illusions, not truth. Therefore, it corrects what never was. Further, the plan for this correction was established and completed simultaneously, for the will of God is entirely apart from time. So, in all reality, being of Him. Oh, so is all reality being of Him. The instant the idea of separation entered the mind of God's Son, in that same instant was God's answer given. In time, this happened very long ago. In reality, it never happened at all.
That's the secret of this whole thought system, is that we're already okay, we're already at home. So there's a lot in this little paragraph. At the beginning, it talks about the teacher learning plan of salvation. The teacher is the learner, and the learner is the teacher. It's a teach learning plan. And there's something beautiful about being willing to share what you have. It's like the Jesus fed the 5,000 or the 3,000, whatever the story was, and it started with the little boy wanting to share his lunch.
Mm.
The boy brought his sack lunch, and Jesus blessed it, and it fed everything. Now the boy couldn't have done that on his own, but would it have happened without him? Maybe, probably. I don't know, but it happened with him for sure. And so, sort of like us, we give what we have, and when we give it, it becomes more. We give the knowledge we have, knowing it's not enough, knowing it's not complete, but it's the giving that allows us to receive it in a new way. And so when we give it, when we teach what we think we know, when we give what we think we know, it evolves and forms and is for us. That's the thing that I've been talking about, in that everything I say I know is always for me. And maybe somebody finds it's valuable, maybe not. But if I'm paying attention to things that I'm sharing with the intention of love, intending love, not necessarily doing a good job, I'm not necessarily changing somebody or helping somebody or saving somebody or healing somebody or even teaching somebody, but I'm intending love. And in that place of intending, I give indiscriminately, including my teaching, including my what I've learned. And then I receive and learn as I teach and give at the same time. It becomes something new, like the giving of the fish and the bread. It gets blessed. And then, so that's what teach learn is. Any thoughts on that? Anything you want to add, Sue? You want to add anything?
I like that tying with that story. I never thought about that portion. It's like from the little kid's perspective, like, was it the kid and the parent that like walked up together? I don't remember the details of that story, but I would imagine.
It just says from a kid. It didn't really give any color of
Yeah.
how it happened, but kid had some food.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just thinking about that feeling of when you know that there isn't, like, there's enough for you
Yeah.
for you to feel full, and then to go, I might only end up with a crumb
Yeah.
after this, or maybe I won't end up with anything, but just, yeah.
My fish will be gobbled up by this crowd.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how the things of God work, though. When you give the things of God, they become more. When you give the things of man, you lose them. And so, if you think about it that way, what are the things that you can give that become more? You can give generosity, and it becomes more generosity. You can give love. I mean, you can give fear as well. Both of those become more when you give it.
Benefit of a doubt.
You can give the benefit of the doubt. Yes, that's good. When it comes to the world we've created as opposed to the world that Jesus sees, perspective versus vision. Our perspective, when we give, we there becomes less for us. So that's one of the signs that we're operating in the world that we've created instead of with vision as Jesus sees the world. Does this become more? And there's always that part of it. That's the interesting thing, is it's always mixed in there, you know. I'm fearful that I'm not going to have enough money if I give to this charity, whatever, right? Or if I spend more time with my family. So in that, I'm going to give my heart. I'm going to do something kind. The more I give my heart and do kind, the more there is to give. But then there's this element of money or time in general. The scarcity of now, you know, like I think there's only this at this time right now. And it seems scarce. It seems when I give it, I've lost it. It seems when I give money, I've lost it. So those two things are kind of mingled.
Time and money are great examples, though, because those are the two things where, I mean, there's a lot of things written about both being illusions.
Yeah. And both being the only thing that's really valuable.
Right.
Seemingly. Yeah. So the plan, that verse 4 in verse 2, however you say it. Further, the plan for this correction was established and completed simultaneously. So there was a time in the creation of the world, the Big Bang, so to speak, when we had a decision to choose love or fear. What would it be like to be separate to be our own special thing, our own special entity. And we chose separation versus unity and oneness. We chose sin, guilt, shame versus oneness, completeness, wholeness, innocence. And our specialness in the separation game, the solution that was the idea. It was a mistake. So the course calls it not sin. It just says it was a mistake, as in, like, I thought it was gonna be great and I thought it was gonna be possible, but it was just a wild idea. And it was a mistake. And just like any mistake, you're doing math, you do the math problem wrong. It doesn't make you a bad person. It just means you did the problem wrong. So if you would like the correct answer, then you just do it again. Reevaluate it in the correct way. And the solution for the problem of sin and separation and guilt was instantly, with no time, made. That's what this means. It was completed. The correction was established and completed simultaneously, for the will of God is entirely apart from time. And so that's the definition of atonement as far as the course goes. Atonement says, this whole game we're playing of separation is an idea, and it never happened. We're kind of running. It's as if you're sitting there daydreaming. You're at work and you take a moment, you stop your work, you stop your busyness, so that you have a time to let your mind run, and you envision this whole other world. Sometimes I have good visions, and sometimes I have these visions where, whatever, I let my kid walk to the park on his own, and something bad happens, and then something bad happens to that, and another bad thing happens, and I can feel the bad thing in my body. I'm like, my kid is hurt. It never happened, but I can feel the pain of it happening in my body as if it happened. What's the solution? He's kidnapped and gone forever. Well, the solution is you wake up. It didn't happen. My kid's still at school or at home, right? It didn't happen, but it hurt so bad. I know you feel that pain, but it didn't happen. You're not you're not on a manhunt looking for your kid. He's sitting in school, nothing happened. But I still feel it. Well, okay, but it's a mental thing that you have to release. Why are you doing this to me? No one's doing anything to you. It's in your mind. You have to release it. You release it. Release it. Let your body release it. Breathe. Remember where you are. You're here. Kids are okay. You're okay. Just release. Just breathe. And that's all of our problems. Every single one of them. No matter what. No matter if it's as serious as life and death, Kristen's in some serious stuff, or it's superficial, like my daydream of my kids getting hurt, or my daydream about not having enough money, or my daydream about I'm not enough, or I'm not lovable, or we're not going to get it right, or I'm not being whatever. All the temperaments, right? All the temperaments have their own brackets. But atonement is we're already good. We're perfect and pure. We are actually not in a body. We're actually not this ego, personality, separation game, character. We're complete and whole, at home with God. And our game is pretty elaborate, right? So right now, maybe we think we're in a body, and maybe we die, and now we think we're in a light body or an astral body, and then a light body, and then we got all of these layers of existence that we think are We're all there, but we get to be separate. We get to be our own special separate character, which I love.
And it's such an elaborate, like you were saying, because everything that, even that delusion, right? It's like, it's not coming from nowhere. If you, like, for the ego, there's a reason why you're having that delusion, because there's this, and this, because this happens and that happens. And those are all true. And so it, like, how do we not fall into that trap of spiritual bypassing,
What's
right?
that?
Where you oh yeah, no, it's like something painful, terrible happens, and then just being like, oh no, that didn't really happen, everything's fine.
Well, it's the difference between attachment, non-attachment, and detached. So
Detached, right?
non-attachment is a beautiful thing where things are happening, but you don't need the outcomes. Detached is I don't care. So detached, you're kind of still attached. You're attached to not being.
Everything being okay.
Yeah, you're attached to everything be okay. I don't want to be bothered. Uh I need comfort. Um I'm actually I'm in fear because I don't want to be disappointed. And so I'm not going to hope for anything. I'm not going to want anything because of that. Non-wanting is great in non-attachment when you're detached. It's actually fear. It's a form of fear that shows up in sorrow or depression or I mean less than love for sure. I mean, it's not a loving state. It's one of the forms of fear. But I can go through life and I could be intending. Right? So there's loving service, and then there's accomplishment, domination. Really, the pure forms, the two paths that will lead us out of the mess, lead us out of the illusion that we've created for ourselves. Loving service is the easier path, baby kitten, right? And then domination, accomplishment is also a way, but it's a lot harder path. Baby monkey, like we talked about before. And so which one's easier? Why it's easier? Well, love and service is just like intend well. I'm just going to intend well. And what would loving be? Well, loving would be this, but I don't have time for that. Okay, well, I certainly don't have to do it. But if I want to play the game to a high level, if I want to play my bigger game of loving service, of evolving, of realization, realizing who I am, that's a bigger game of Jevon's little game of what to make some dollars, make $10 million. Right. It's like that's a small game when it comes to who I am.
Make the kids go to bed.
Yeah.
Make the people treat me a certain way.
Yeah.
Make
all of my tiny games. And I forget.
Achieve my goals at all costs.
Yep. All those tiny, tiny games that I give my life for, my entire life.
I'm still waiting for that white picket fence, though.
My white picket fence that I could finally have.
Exactly.
Well, what John's saying though is the white picket fence, the waiting for it is actually, you can actually wait for it in a non-attached way. Whereas if you were to give it up, then that can be a form of detachment, which is fear. Right?
Yeah, it's not a problem. White picket fences are awesome. But when I suffer because I don't have it, I'm actually attached to the idea that I need it. And if I don't have it, then I am not whatever. I'm not happy. I'm not complete. I'm not worthy. I'm not loved. On and on and on. But I could work like hell every day and be to get it and still and not be attached to it. Work
Not
like
be beat
hell,
down.
and I could be connected to the people that I'm with every day and give my heart to who I work with and give my heart to my family and intend the best as I do what I'm doing, because I'm doing stuff anyway. You know, here I am doing stuff every day. So doing this is not going to stop in the character, but the doingness is not as real as the intention behind the doing. That's what matters. Is your intention to gain what you lack? And if it is, it's revealing like this energy of lack that you operate in, that you're creating through your belief. Because ultimately, who you are is not the character. Who you are is the decision maker, the one who created the universe. And if you believe there's lack, well, then you've chosen one of two paths, which is the lack option, which is not enough, separation, guilt, shame. Versus in the second moment, you can choose, the decision maker can choose the abundance option, which is connection, wholeness, unity, love, forgiveness, which is just letting go of the other option. And we can, and then it creates a completely different world, all the same stuff, because the energy behind it shifts. It's like the light's the same, but there's this film roll going, and it's like on a swivel, it's like on a track, and the film that's going, the old school film roll is going, and the lights, same light shining through it, and then I can choose love, and a whole new set goes in front, shows a world of love and connection and abundance, and everything's okay, everything's great, everything is as it should be. You know, like, oh no, it's not gonna work out. Shoot, the other film roll goes in front of the light. Separation, guilt, shame. It's not okay. And it happens in a moment. Oh, I just breathe. I'm breathing. Film roll shifts. Same light shining through it. Okay, it's okay. Everybody's doing the best they can. I'm doing the best I can. Oh my gosh. My nurse, how sweet is she? She's just so sweet. In the hospital still going through whatever you're going through. Kids are still a pain in the butt. But my whole world changes with zero details changing. And the details could end up changing. I don't know. Seems like I'm changing them. My guess is I'm not. It's part of a script. Jevon thinks that he's doing things. Bless his heart.
Okay, guys, I have to wrap it up. I have to go see my nurses right now.
Oh man,
Good
God
luck.
bless you.
Thank
As
you.
well.
Thank you. I'll talk to you guys on Friday.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, have a good day.
You too. Have a good day, Kristen.
Bye.
What do you think?
All right. I don't know. I think I maybe need to think a little bit less. I don't know.
I think I need to think less. That's good.
Think less.
Yeah, me too. Let's see. The work has been completed. We're actually home. And the instant the idea of separation entered the mind of God, and that same instant was God's answer given. It never happened at all. There's another verse somewhere in the quote, maybe the song of Mirror. What's the song? I don't know. Whatever that the book in the course, it's the song of something. It says, I forget what it's called, and I forget where it's at, but it says something like, not one note in heaven's song was missed, something like that. Like we think that we're like, if it's true that happened and we left heaven and we're doing this thing apart from the heaven that we created, and it's like, oh, we're messing things up. I can't wait to get back and to God's the perfect plan that I messed up, and Jesus is like, no, nothing's been missed. Not one note from the song has been missed. The song is going perfectly because you never left. There's no time down. Because this thing you think of as time is part of the construct to help you be separate, to help you think that you can lose and there's scarcity and that you can run out of something. It's the basis for your run out thinking. I think everything's running out, moving away. And that's my whole life, scarcity and running away, deteriorating.
Yeah, I think a big trap is thinking, okay, well, this thing happened and I don't like it, or this is happening and I don't like it. I'm making, I'm not making the amount of money that I want, and it's because of this. And so I'm going to figure out what that was and then switch everything. And then I'm going to get the more money that I want. And when it comes to things like money or even time, like leisure time, it does work, but it's still you're in the matrix, basically.
Yeah, it's
And so,
between magic and miracles.
right.
Magic is changing the script or thinking you are. The miracle is realize that you're not your body. You're actually one with all. The miracle to realize that, oh wow, that's not me doing this game.
Yeah.
There's nothing to forgive. There's nothing to achieve. I mean, that's a big jump, of course.
Yeah. Right. Where were we? Are we on?
Verse 3.
Okay. The world of time is the world of illusion. Oh, what happened? Okay. What happened long ago seems to be happening now. Choices made long since appear to be open, yet it has yet to be made. What has been learned and understood and long ago passed by is looked upon as a new thought, a fresh idea, a different approach. Because your will is free, you can accept what has already happened at any time you choose. And only then will you realize that it was always there. As the course emphasizes, you are not free to choose the curriculum or even the form in which you will learn it. You are free, however, to decide when you want to learn it. And as you accept it, it is already learned.
Dang.
Time really then goes backward to an instant so ancient that it is beyond all memory and past even the possibility of remembering. Yet because it is an instant that it is relived again and again, and still again, it seems to be now. And thus it is that pupil and teacher seem to come together in the present, finding each other as if they had not met before. The pupil comes at the right time to the right place. It is inevitable because he has made the right choice in that ancient instant, which he now relives. So the teacher too made an inevitable choice out of an ancient past. God's will in everything, but seems to take time in the working out. What could delay the power of eternity?
Inevitable. I find it actually comforting to think of inevitability, to think of like destiny. Like it's inevitable for the things that have happened to have happened. Like I didn't do it wrong and mess it up, and now everything is unfixable, you know, like that whole thing that I like to go down. It's inevitable that whatever happened happened. It's inevitable that I lost money, or it's inevitable that my kids got hurt, or it's inevitable that my dog chewed up my stuff and pooped in the living room. It's
inevitable that 10, 12 years ago, I decided to take responsibility for everything.
That's right. Yep, and messed it up.
Well, in one way messed it up, in one way got everything that I decided I was gonna get.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, for sure. The thing about oh man, funny bone. Ooh. The thing the thing about getting what you want or not, or what you don't want. Even when you get what you want, it's such a trap because
It so is.
it sets up more attachment.
But it's that unlearnable lesson that people talk about, right? Like, oh, you have to have a house and the car, the marriage, the kids, whatever. And I haven't gotten to the latter half of that list yet, but
Oh man,
the
I'm
first half.
sorry. and you need a bigger house too. That's
Right. Yeah. Now you have a house, you need a bigger house.
yeah.
And then
Right.
you'll get a bigger house, and then you need a newer house. And
Newer
then you get a newer house, and then you need to get the people to get friends to be in it. And then once you get friends, you need to get different friends. And you need to get better friends. And you need
yeah. And then you need to be have a better contribution to the world. So you got to give more.
Yeah.
People got to know you give more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It really isn't. Yeah. But it's one of those like, oh.
That's why it's really interesting to me. And occasionally when I talk myself out of being so crazy, I'll realize it's perfect where I'm at because it's gonna be the same. I watch these shows like Billions, that show with Paul Giamatti, and is the attorney general or whatever his name is. He's the bad guy cop. It's trying to arrest the billionaire guy. I don't know his real name, but he's Bobby Axelrod in the show. And Bobby's a billionaire, and he gives millions and hundreds of millions of dollars to all kinds of things, like the police fund, and the kids that need help fund, and always goes to the charities and always does good stuff and helps his community out. And like the beginning of the show, he walks in to this guy who owns a pizza place there in New York, and he's getting pushed out of his pizza shop that he's been running for 40 years. And he comes in, he's like, I've been coming here since I was a kid. He's like, yeah, you've always been a good customer. And he's like, even when I was a kid, I didn't have any money, and you would always give me a piece of pizza. He's like, well, you were a good customer the rest of the time. He's like, well, I'm going to be an even better customer. I'm saving your shop. So he ends up doing something really cool and gives this old dude that's running a pizza shop a bunch of money to keep his shop, and becomes in as a partner just for he can run it. He's just a really good guy as the story goes, but he is walking around like crazy all the time, like stressed because of his stressful world. He's almost getting sued all the time. He's almost losing $100 million all the time. He's got expectations that he has to perform, and he doesn't know how it's going to happen all the time. He's got a big staff that's also going crazy because he can't do it on his own. Everybody, all these traders, and he's like getting tempted to cheat on his wife. He's getting tempted to beat up the neighbor or whatever. It's like on and on and on and on and on. And I'm like,
One of my
well,
problems.
this $1 billion life seems pretty stressful, or at least similar to the stress, if not more
Right.
than my life. All those billions didn't solve. And then I think, like, well, if I had those billions, I would just live more simply. Maybe.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Yeah. And so what's the solution? Well, the reality, as far as I can tell, is it's perfect right now. It's perfect right now for me to choose love. It's a perfect time to choose love, because that's all we're ever doing is choosing love or fear. And the various forms of how fear shows up is called the perception of the universe. We're looking at all the different ways separation is real. And if we do the subtle thing, if I do the subtle thing of choosing love and connection and sameness and unity versus fear, shame, guilt, it is the difference between using the Holy Spirit's vision and seeing a friendly world, or using my egoic sight and seeing the world that I've created. And I can make that shift anytime. And I can go back and forth anytime. And I do.
Yeah.
First
When
life?
the
Okay.
When the pupil and teacher come together, a teaching-learning situation begins. For the teacher is not really the one who does the teaching. God's teacher speaks to any two who join together for learning purposes. The relationship is holy because of that purpose, and God has promised to send his spirit into any holy relationship. In the teaching-learning situation, each one learns that giving and receiving are the same. The demarcations they have drawn between their roles, their minds, their bodies, their needs, their interests, and all the differences they thought separated them from one another, fade and grow dim and disappear. Those who would learn the same course share one interest and one goal. And thus he who was the learner becomes a teacher of God himself, for he has made the one decision that gave his teacher to him. He has seen in another person the same interests as his own.
Dang, is it that simple? Seems like it.
Yeah, and I forget in a previous conversation, I had mentioned seeing the other person's interest as my own. But then I went back to read that particular section, and it actually didn't say that. It said recognizing that my interests are not separate from the other person's interests.
Mhm.
So that, for me, was an indication of no, you don't need to go and try to take somebody else's interest and make it your own.
Mhm.
You're not disregarding your interests for the interest of another person, which creates this delusion of thinking you can save people and like this martyr syndrome, which is really gross. Um, so that's not what the course is saying. Yeah. It's saying recognizing that my interests are not separate from another person's interests.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
think
even in the language, if I make someone's interests my own, as my own, the making part is the part that I suffer. If I see them as my own, right now we're already the same. There's no conversion that has to be made. There's no saving. There's no influencing. There's no teaching, as in like making you different, making it different. None of that. if I see it as my own, right now, we're already the same with no change. So that's challenging, especially when I don't see a similar interest or don't see similarities. All right, I see an enemy. I see an enemy to my accomplishments. They're interrupting, or I see an enemy to my peace. You know, they're laying their drama on me, and now I'm being uh, forced to deal with it. Right, all this language that
Yeah.
that gets me.
Where do you think respecting the other person's timeline comes in? And I also, if and when Denise comes on again, I wanted to ask her how because she stayed with her person for like 3 years while this person was telling her, oh yeah, this isn't gonna last. I'm gonna go. I don't really wanna like, I'm not gonna spend the rest of my life with you. I'm gonna, this is just temporary. I'm gonna go and live this other life without you.
Yeah.
And then how that, yeah. And then, or yeah, that's a pretty extreme example. I'm still trying to. And then also, if somebody's like, yeah, so how to deal with people who are like, how to respect the other person's timeline. Like, oh, I'm not actually going to want to have a conversation with you. I want to sweep things under the rug to feel better. But yeah, so would that just be like, yeah, I mean, I do understand that, like, cutting somebody out for whatever reason, like, oh yeah, no, you go do your thing. I recognize that that is a detachment, which is not the same as non-attachment. Also,
Mhm.
Jevon, you look really scary right now because the reflection of the thing of your screen is like right where your eyes are, so your eyes look completely white.
Oh no, the lights. There's a show that a book called Miss Peregrine's School for Peculiar Children. Have you ever heard of that?
I think so. There's a movie on it, right? Or yeah.
We read I've been reading those books with one of my kids, and the main bad guys, which are like, I don't know, like zombie kind of characters, they're bad. They don't have any color in their pupils. They got white eyes. They're whites. They're color whites. So it's not good. The whites. Ah. Well, I think that the main thing is just my own attachment to anything, and I can definitely be attached to accomplishment of how things are going in the future, and to say that, for example, for me to respect someone's time, if my
Timeline.
intention behind that is um, I'm going to release what I want in this moment, uh, and honor what you want in this moment, just because I care about you and I don't want to impose what I want, then that's great. I mean, that's fine. You know, what's my intention? If my intention is that we have lost, we've, if I believe I've lost this time by spending it in a way that isn't valuable, and if I think that, then I have someone that is, and someone's making it happen, like they've interrupted me. Now they're my enemy. And so now I really have to attack the enemy to be able to save my time so it's not wasted. And so now my intention is to get the enemy out, attack them, move them on, get them out of my life. My intention is separation. And so I get those two have a different experience altogether, right? It's very frustrating to be interrupted, anger inducing. painful to be interrupted because I believe they're stealing my time. We're running out of time. My accomplishments aren't going to happen.
That's a big one for me right now, especially with the whole like romantic relationships. It's like, yeah. And so that's why I'm like, how, sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like how to, especially because yeah, because for women, there is literally built into our biology a clock.
Uh-huh.
So you are wasting my time if you don't. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, I think this is.
It's a waste. It's a waste of time if you have the time because you need the kid. I want a kid. I have a certain amount of time to procreate. I'm with somebody who does not want to commit, is not a good partner for raising another human because they're going to bounce. And that's not what I need. Someone that's going to help me with this. And this is a 20-year task. You're not a 20-year partner. Like, okay, well, in that context, for sure, it's a poor use of time. Wasting time, though, and as far as my experience is it's like it's the judgment, it's feeling the separation of it. It's different from this activity that I'm in is not going to move towards this other accomplishment I want to get. One is just a utility. Is this going to work? One is attachment to an outcome that puts you in a life of separation and suffering. So you can be with somebody that's not going to get to the goal you want and be and end up being really happy for lots of reasons, most of which I don't understand my own best interest. Just because I have a plan doesn't mean I can't be happy with who I'm with and what I'm doing. When I'm attached to particular outcomes, like the baby thing, I want to have a baby. Well, it doesn't mean that you can't break up with who you're with because you want to be clear. I want this in my life. You don't want this. I love you so much. We're breaking up. And you could suffer from that, or you could move on and be like, hey, I really do love you. And they could be like, I love you, and you separate. Or you could be like, why have you wasted my life? I hate you. You could do that too, and then break up. So the state of being does not have to dictate the activity that you're in, or doing or not doing, moving towards or not moving towards. And then vice versa, the activity that you're doing, underwriting loans and getting interrupted by other people, in relationships that aren't going to marriage, that aren't going to lead to more humans, like whatever the case, those activities don't have to lead to happiness or unhappiness, fulfillment or unfulfillment. In fact, the activities never will. It's a state of being that only your state of being that could lead to happiness or unhappiness. And the state of being of the ego is it's the lie that says your activity can help you be happy, can help you be content. The lie is to achieve a goal, to reach a destination. That's what's ultimately going to make you happy and be fulfilled and be at peace. If you can finally get it or do it, if you can finally be it, then it's all going to be okay. It's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to be in the mentality that you're not already there, which is the original lie.
Right. And this is all coming back to, at least for me, the radical responsibility, I think.
Yeah. And it's fine. Your character, here's the deal. In my experience, Sue's going to be Sue. And Sue likes the stuff she likes. She likes to be right. She's spent a lot of years getting smart so she can be right more. And she likes her freedom. She likes her autonomy. She likes, all these things that you like. You like being a badass. You like being all that stuff. And so, does that make that stuff bad? Because now you have this other goal, maybe that doesn't fix well with Sue. It doesn't. It's like awesome. Sue's awesome. Great. Jevon likes what he likes. He's a rascal. He does all. It's hard for him to be content. Well, that's his racket. It's fine. Your contentment and your peace have nothing to do with the racket of your personality. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water, right? After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Before enlightenment, I'm depressed. After enlightenment, I'm depressed. Who's depressed? Well, just a personality can be depressed.
Only Carl is depressed.
Carl.
Only Meredith is depressed.
Carl's angry. Carl doesn't get depressed very much, but he gets angry all the time.
Yeah, actually, Meredith doesn't get depressed either. She gets pissed off.
Pissed off. That's right. We like that way better. It feels like control. I like it.
Yeah.
All the while, there's something or someone that is perfectly content with, my personality doing its thing. Who am I? Who is that? Well, those are the questions that bring me behind the curtain to the one pulling the levers. And then, how far does it go back? Is there someone behind the curtain of the one pulling the levers behind the curtain? Is there a mover of the mover? Yeah, it keeps on going. That's the world of form. That's the spiritual world that people love. That I think is very entertaining as well. The physical body connected to the etheric world, connected to the astral world, connected to the light world. The light body. I don't know. It's like, how many levels are there? Forever. How far is the universe? Well, as long as we can look, there's going to be something there. Is it because it goes on forever? Sort of. It goes on that way because we're creating it. So as far as I can reach and imagine, it's going to be there.
There's 11 dimensions.
Thank God. So then, and then the story behind that is like, as far as like, what is it? The law of one, I think, right? The densities and how they wrap up in the eighth and start a new.
Yeah, densities and dimensions are different. Dimensions anyway, and then it's so crazy too, because even in the physical world, that you can't zoom in past like 10 to the minus 32, or whatever the number is, but it's not that many of like many levels of zooming in, like microscopic. Yeah, like you zoom things in, zoom things in, zoom things in, zoom things in 10, like times 10 to, I'm pretty sure it's like 32 or it's not that huge of a number that you have to magnify before the particles that you see or the subatomic particles that you see don't obey the laws of physics anymore as we know it. And that's when quantum physics and all of the weirdness happens. So yeah, like, but you're right that it all, they say, goes back to I think it was something Hoffman who studies this a lot. He was saying the cause of all of these things that we were talking about goes back to the Big Bang. Like it was all, just like the Corsair is saying, it was all predetermined at the time of when all decisions, or not at the time, but like when all decisions were made, as long as the world of time, world of illusion happened long ago, but it's all happening now. And
Yeah. Determinism, it's very depressing if you think that you don't have a choice. And I think that that is mostly true about our personality. But I don't think we're our personality. That's the solution.
right,
There
right,
is a lot to be determined, but it's not depressing because that's not us. In fact, we were a part of the decision, the main decision of choosing separation versus unity. And what is it like to choose unity? Well, we have no idea because we live in a fantasy of separation. But I think it's going to be awesome.
yeah,
Or it already is awesome, right? It's already heaven. The what's it called? The course calls it the real world. That is heaven.
good point.
Yay!
Yay! Finish another chapter.
Dang, man, we're on a roll.
Yeah, and I don't think I found anything online that talks about the manual for teachers in this way. So
Oh yeah, well, it's part of just A Course in Miracles. All these books are usually a part of. This is a book of books. A Course in Miracles is usually all the books wrapped into one. Lately, they used to be sold separately, but now they usually all come together.
yeah.
Okay, well, have a lovely day. Thanks for meeting.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye.